I have been in sales for over 30 years and I've sold something to every Fortune 500 company at least once. Most of those sales have been in the tens of millions. And I have formulated a 10-step plan to make any sale happen. This process will help you learn to sell. And if you like it or not, you are a salesperson. People will judge you. They will make decisions about you as a personal brand and your product without you even realizing it. So if you can't sit and listen for 5 minutes to all this knowledge I'm going to give you for free, I'm afraid you're not going to make it. So there's probably 10 steps to sales, both how to actually think like a salesperson, get sales done, closed, and then ongoing sales, repeat sales, referral sales. I'm going to teach you it all. It's about 10 steps, but they blur into each other. And the end part of this video is just as important. The points at the end of this video, if you don't know them, you can't be authentic. I never see anyone, all these sales shit courses I see people selling, telling you to do that. They talk to you about NLP, where you can trick people, or using words to manipulate people. I even saw a recent video where someone was talking about how they pretended they didn't have the product anymore so that the customer would then buy. This is all bullshit. It's a way of tricking people into getting a quick sale, which is quick money. The quicker you go up, the quicker you come down. Don't listen to this bullshit. The best salespeople in the world, the best way to sell is authentic, make a connection with someone, and that person will be with you forever. Whatever you sell, you want to be able to over-deliver, right? And how do you over-deliver in sales? You make sure that what you're selling you believe in. You make sure you don't say something that isn't true about the product, even if someone tells you to do it. If you're working somewhere and they tell you to sell something that isn't true, it's your personal brand on the line. Don't do it. Walk out that door. Only sell what you can deliver on. And I know quite often in the sales process, in the excitement of selling, you want to promise much more than you can guarantee. Well, then break it into those two parts. Say, this is what I can guarantee, and this is what I hope might happen. The thing in sales, and in a minute, I'm going to get to what I think is the glue that puts this all together. But the third thing in sales that you always need to do is find your own style. Now, I have seen introverts do amazing things in sales. And the key, a lot of people think only extroverts can sell, right? People that like people are the only ones that can sell. It's not true. I don't know how this stuff becomes a belief system for us all. It's not true. What I'm trying to make here is find your style. Find how you like to sell. It doesn't matter what I tell you to do. It matters what you can naturally do. So for example, if you like to write blogs, go on LinkedIn, go on these blog sites and write blogs about your specialty, about what you find interesting. Go out there and apply yourself in a way that is comfortable for you. There was a famous quote around marketing and sales, which is 50% of what I spend on marketing gets lost, gets wasted. I just don't know what 50%. The truth is, most of the time when we're selling, the best salespeople don't even know they're selling. You're just sharing knowledge, sharing information, being proud about your product or service, and that in itself causes a sale. You've got to find your style. Lean into that groove, whatever it is. If you're an introvert, then lean into that. If you're an extrovert, lean into that. Fourth thing, I briefly mentioned it a second ago, is train the team. In sales, a lot of the time, the best people to sell you are the people you work with. So that can be your clients, that can be your colleagues, that can be your mum. It doesn't really matter. You want everybody who's involved in your life to be selling what you're selling. And that means that they are trained. Now, it might sound weird if I tell you to go train your mum to sell your product, and your mum might initially reject it. But if you explain the product to her in a way that excites her, it means that it supports you, she will be your best salesperson. Now, I don't want to miss out the dads. Don't forget to also train them up. Everybody should be your salesperson, but it's up to you to train your team and make sure that that's the case. Now, number 5, I want you to know the rules of selling, and they are teachable. I don't know why they don't teach you this at school. I think I know why. They don't want you to be free, but I know for a fact there are 3 steps to getting any sale. Any sale. I don't care who you are or what your skill set is. If you follow these 3 steps, you will get any sale. Most people start with the last step first. Most people start with, this is my product and this is how much it is. It's a mistake. That's not how you sell. The first step is very simple. Identify who could buy your product. You've got to actually know the person who's going to buy it. understand if they really need it. So for example, you may have seen the thing, sell me this pen in the movie Wolf of Wall Street, right? Most people, when I give you this pen, will start selling it. The first question you need to ask is not, would you like to buy this pen? And this is a lovely pen. Do you like blue? Look at it. It's nice and strong and it's a good brand. It will last for... Forget all that shit. First thing you need to say is, do you need a pen? Do you need a pen? Now, if people say no, then you ask them when in the future they might need a pen. You break down when the desire and the need for this product might occur. And if you're not sure, and I ran a service business for 15 years, you don't know when people actually needed my business services. So what did I do? Every single month for 9 years, I contacted brands like Apple somehow with something to help them remember me. You have to be there when the sales is needed. If you sell someone a pen and they don't need a pen, you're going to waste your time, you're going to waste their time, and you're going to be frustrated thinking there's no market fit for your product. Identify the client, what they actually need. Do they actually need your product? If they need your product, then you can move on to the second stage. And the second stage takes a bit of work which people can't be bothered to do, and they wonder why they get less reaction on sales. The second step is understand the person you're selling to. Make a relationship. In an ideal situation, you like them and they like you. You want to like them, because if you sell something to someone and you don't like them or they don't like you, your life's going to be a nightmare. Even if there is a product market fit and they need a pen, you don't want to be caught in a situation where they have bought something from you and you don't like them and they don't like you. The irony, or the other spin on this is, if you've got these first two steps right, you know they need the product. They need you. Second, you like each other. The people selling and people buying like each other. You need each other and you like each other. I have never not completed the third stage if those first two are in place. The third stage is, here's my product, this is what it does, this is the service it offers. I guarantee you that third step will be completed if you get the first two right. I've even had cases where clients have said to me, this is the amount of budget I've got, this is what I'm willing to do, Simon. They tell me how to write the contract to get the third bit right. They tell me what to price it as, sometimes more than I thought I was going to charge or needed at the time to charge, to support me because they like me and they need our service. They want us to do well, they want us to make profit. When you identify these things, sales gets a lot easier. Now there's another very important part of sales. But I wanted, first of all, before I move on to the next bit, to make sure you understand sales is a system. It's a system. That process is a system. Now, the 3 steps to sales I've just told you there, I'm going to tell you obvious things. You need products like Pipedrive. You need tools that allow you to track the sales. So for example, when I was selling for 9 years to the client I wanted to win, I had to track every month what I had done. And if someone else came in and took over the sales process for a little while, I had a system in place. Like I mentioned earlier, I would send them a Christmas present. I would send them a newsletter. I would send them a happy birthday note. I would send them some industry news that I just noticed might help their business do better. I didn't always sell them, but I always connected to them. And you need a system, things like Pipedrive to do that. You need products that help you remember who you're contacting and remember the process of always connecting. So systems, the 3-step process, and then making sure you've got the tools to help you do that process. Next up, number 6 on the list, leverage. In sales, you need leverage. Leverage sales is basically where you perhaps are a new company, a new brand, no one knows you yet, and if I contact a company, and I had this experience when I started Fluid, I would ring up a company and I would say, hi, my name's Simon from Fluid and I'd like to help you with your marketing. And they were like, we're too busy, go away or hang up. You're all going to have this experience, right? Rejection is something you need to get used to in sales. I don't need to tell you that, but I think the thing with leverage is if you can get one brand name or one client on board, and maybe initially you have to do it free in some cases, you can leverage that brand to help your own brand lift up. So for example, my company, we managed to get CNN as a client. This is back when CNN was a good brand. We managed to get them on board as a client and we did a great job for them. And what we then did is I would ring up and say, hi, I'm Simon Squibb. I'm working with CNN on a project. I wondered if I could come and talk to you about your company and what we could do to help you. So suddenly now, and this is 10 years ago, CNN was a more respected brand back then, CNN then, that name allowed us to get in the door with other people. It's It's a delicate one because I don't want you to lie, but I want you to see how you've got to leverage what you've done and what you've got. Now, to get CNN as a client, we had to do a free piece of work for them. So sometimes that's an investment in leverage. You need to make an investment in leverage. Now, of course, you also have to do a good job for that client, because if they then, oh, I know CNN, or I know John at CNN, and they check, reputation matters. So make sure you've got your reputation in line, do a good job for people. But I think leverage is perfectly fine and perfectly normal. It's a good way of helping people who hear your first sentence connect to who you are. If you're working for a big brand, they think, right, you must be a good company. So use leverage in sales. Number 7 on the list is don't sell a product. Sell the outcome of the product. Too many people, when they go to sell something, tell you exactly what product they've got, instead of focusing on the outcome that product can bring you if you use it, for example. The terminology I've used before on this is sell the sizzle, not the steak, right? So you don't sell the actual steak. There's millions of steaks out there. Sell the feeling of the steak. If you look at adverts like Häagen-Dazs, they're not telling you about the ingredients, because if they did, you probably wouldn't eat the shit. So what you're actually doing, what they're actually trying to do, is have a feeling of when you eat the ice cream. Oh, love and romance, you're with someone beautiful. They're creating a feeling, right? Apple is the same. Apple, what Intel processor is in an Apple? Can you tell me? No one fucking cares, right? Because they're selling a feeling. You've got to learn to sell a feeling. Now, I'm going to come on to another point in a minute, which is around storytelling, but I want you to understand that any product, anything you sell, is about the feeling. So when I was selling Fluid, I wasn't selling that we were the best marketing company in the world. I was selling the fact that we cared about having a result for our clients. We prided ourselves on the success of our clients. I didn't break down that we did email marketing and SEO and built websites and built competitions and marketing campaigns and adverts and billboards. No one gives a shit about that stuff. And that's what everyone else was doing, which is why we beat them, because we were selling an outcome. We were selling the sizzle, not the steak. There's just so many examples of brands that have actually done well that do this. I mean, LinkedIn, for example, sells that you can get a job on that platform. You can build your brand on that platform. They don't really tell you, well, there's a like button and there's a comment button and you can actually DM people inside. None of that matters. That's just part of what obviously the product does. It's what the product gives you that people care about. So learn to sell the sizzle. What is the sizzle for your product? Tell me in the comments. I want to know what the sizzle is. I don't care about the steak. Number 8. This one might seem obvious. I'm surprised how many people don't do it. Only sell what you believe in. It's easier to sell something you genuinely believe in. Too many people are selling things they don't believe in, and they are therefore not good salespeople. Or you can be a good salesperson selling something you don't believe in. You will get sales, especially if you follow my rules. But at the end of the day, sell something you believe in. It's so obvious, isn't it? Sell something, I think, that has an outcome that makes the world a better place, or the person you're helping have a better life. Sell something you believe in. I'm going to put it in here. I don't need to talk about it for long. I feel with all my heart that so many people don't actually realize this. I have to say it. It feels common sense and obvious. But you will find that anyone can sell something they believe in. That's the irony. But so many people don't sell what they believe in. So only work with companies. Well, if you're going to work with someone, make sure you ask for equity, but that aside, if you're going to sell something you believe actually brings value. Sell something you believe can actually make a difference in people's lives. Number 9. Now, this type of sales I want to explain to you now can sound a bit like point 6 around leverage, but actually it's quite different. Some of the best ways to sell are other people selling for you. Now, I mentioned this earlier in team training as well, but these two ideas blend into point 9, which is, and the best way maybe to give you an example is a brand I don't really like, but they do this quite well. McDonald's sponsor the Olympics, right? So by leveraging the Olympics as a brand, that kind of aspirational excitement, community, team, everything the Olympics does so well, McDonald's leverage it. They sponsor it. And I think brand leverage and team sales alongside this brand partnership model can be a great way to sell your product. So if you want to sell something, you can look to align yourself with that brand. So just before I did this video, I just came off a phone call with Liquid Death, which is this new water brand. I don't know yet if we're going to do a partnership with them or not, but we can leverage each other's brands, basically. They have a message they want to get out there in the world, and we have a message that we want to get out there in the world, and putting our two brands together can be hugely powerful. I don't know if that's going to happen by the time this video goes out, but I'm just trying to teach you something. Brand partnerships, brand alignment is so powerful in sales. And if I say I'm sponsoring the Olympics, or I'm sponsoring the tennis, and maybe that sounds like too much money, but you just, even if it's your local football club, if you go and support your local football club, go fix all their billboards, and you're a carpenter, maybe they'll give you the billboard for free, but you align yourself, I'm supporting my local football team. You align yourself to your values, to their values. You lift each other up by these partnerships. I call this 1 + 1 = 11. It's an underutilized way of selling. And just like asking your customers or your team to sell you, or using the leverage system I mentioned earlier, 1 + 1 = 11 can be a very powerful way to get your brand out there. It doesn't always require money. Like the Liquid Death partnership that we have, neither of us will probably pay money, and we'll just put our resources in the middle together to create something fun, hopefully for you, to help you have a better business life. But I'm trying to explain a very important fundamental of sales that I've learned, that 1 + 1 = 11. Number 10, I'm going to call this the emotional sale. I mentioned earlier the 3-step process to getting any sale done, and that's absolutely true. There is a very delicate and powerful way to sell that I find hard to explain, but it basically is best explained by understanding that people are people. And an example is, recently I launched my book, What's Your Dream, on Amazon. It's pre-sale. We went to number 1 on Amazon the day we launched, number 1. And no one's even read the book. No one's even reviewed the book. Now, most books need lots of reviews before they'll get purchased, just like products. We have 0 reviews on that book, 0, and it's number 1 on Amazon. Why? Because I used a method that I think you can only use if you genuinely feel it, and that is the emotional sale. To sales, I'm going to tell you a few more things now that aren't exactly points, but very important. Please learn what sales is really about. It's about being authentic. It's about having a team around you. It's about community. It's about having purpose, being authentic. All of these things need to happen in sales. But there's a couple of really interesting things. I know sometimes you need to stand out in sales. So you need to leverage tools like PR and marketing and other brands. Fun, laugh, humor, all of these things will help you fucking sell. So go and have a laugh, subscribe to this channel. You'll see more people's dreams coming true because of sales than any other reason. I'm going to have some chicken now. Bye.